turn to Facebook Live at Readfield, powered by Keller Williams Malaysia. For regional team who are on this, please set up and get that sorted out while waiting. But for those who want to join this call right now, please, I'll give you 1 minute. Just send out the message, MCS, MCAs. Please send out the message to all agents that we are all going to be having this live as well on Facebook. So please do it at the Facebook Live where our page are at, which is Whitfield, powered by KW Malaysia. Kindly please put that page here on the screen right now so that everyone can actually send out to their friends. We had some technical difficulties in our Zoom channel today, so I apologize for that. For those who are not able to log in, MCA, MCS, please send out that link to the what do you call it, to the Facebook link to them right now. Thank you very much, guys. So today I thought that it's important for us to have this conversation and to come and kind of have a very broad view of what's the policy that the government is running right now. What the policies that, and what are the steps and measures that the government is doing in order to stimulate the economy. Now, we know the first package that the government did was a 250 billion ringgit, and this is a 35 billion ringgit package. But there are certain things today that I think I want to share and bring some light to, due to that there is certain implication on how this has impact on the markets, especially in the property market. Now, before I start that conversation, let me ask you a quick question for all the audience in Facebook and our audience in Zoom right now. Tell me, based on what you understand right now, based on what you see right now, okay, tell me which country in the world has done, who has the least impact or has done their best in actually cushioning this COVID-19 crisis. Tell me, based on what you know right now, which country, in your opinion, has done their best in managing this COVID-19 situation, or which country right now has the best outcome after COVID-19? So which country? Someone say Macau, someone say Malaysia. Well, everyone say Malaysia. Okay. What else? Anyone else? Taiwan? Anyone else? Anyone else? I see Malaysia, I see Singapore, I see Macau, I see Taiwan, I see Taiwan. Anyone else? Any other countries? Bhutan? Okay. Wow, that's New Zealand. Okay, great. Now, help me understand this. How many of you are basing this particular assumption? I'm assuming all of you are assuming, right? What are you basing this on? Is it basing on emotions or is it basing on data? Now, press 1 for emotion, press 2 for data. Press 1 for emotion, press 2 for data. Okay, what sort of data are you feeling? Patriotism, thank you, Murphy. Okay, let me quickly share my screen and I'll show you the reality of the data that we have right now. Hang on. This is the COVID-19, global COVID-19 index. This index was just launched. I was invited to the launch of this index, I think a few days ago, by Pemandu, headed chat by Dato Sri Idris Jala, in collaboration with some of the key data analysis in the world. You have Johns Hopkins University, you have Oxford, all sending data about what's going on in the industry and in the countries where COVID-19 is. And you all say just now, right, that it was Taiwan, Macau, and all that, right? The number 1 country that did well right now is Australia. Number 2 country, Thailand. Number 3, South Korea. Number 4, Taiwan. Number 5, New Zealand. How many of you thought Thailand and Australia were ranked number 1 and 2? Now, that's something that we didn't expect. Now, because this was driven by data. They collate data based on the pattern of infections, based on the pattern of recovery, based on the measures that was taken by the government, and all this data came in to kind of shed where we are right now. And if you look at it this way, right, the global infection trend is still an uprise. It is still rising. So what we are saying is this right now, guys, that this is not going to go away overnight, right? So the COVID-19 challenge that we have, it's not going away overnight, because you can see the trend of infection is on the rise. Okay, from new infections to daily active cases to daily new cases, you are seeing that it's still there, right? There are some countries that does better, but majorities of the countries are not doing as well as us. Now, Malaysia is fortunate in that the yellow area is where we have our lockdown is on a very relaxed measure. And yesterday, our Prime Minister, Friday, our Prime Minister announced, or Saturday, our Prime Minister announced the relaxation MCO, right? So RMCO, right? So that's happening here. But you see, majority of the world is in a lockdown and it's still very severe in terms of the infection. Why am I saying this? Is because I want to let you all know that we are not out of the woods yet. This is the reality that we are in. And whatever measures that you are seeing here right now, that the government is actually implementing, you will not see the last. This is some part of it. There will be more measures being done because we need to find a way to stimulate the economy. Now, I'm going to quickly go through a few slides or a few information of, based on the announcement on Friday, what are some of the interpretation? And I wanted to use materials that is valid, and I wanted to use kind of valid. So I took a report by Crowe Haworth. Now, if you know, Crowe Haworth is one of the consultant or auditors. Hang on, let me enter a few screen. Okay. Now, the key highlight that we are seeing here right now, the key highlights, these are the key things that has been kind of announced on Friday. Okay, I will go through a little bit step by step, and I have a friend or a few more participants today that will be sharing in depth about a certain policy, for example, HOC and all that, and then we will have some conversations with them as they're going along. So this is where you are seeing the 6 areas that will probably have impact in the market, and the one that hits the what do you call that, property segment very hard and very strong, and that's supporting the market, is the exemption of RBGT. Okay, so we're going to see that as a major conversation with your clients. So now if you are an agent right now, you should know what are the RBGT rates like before this policy was implemented, so that you can do a calculation to help your clients look at a potential opportunity here to dispose their property even at a certain value that could support their sale, right? Next on, you look at some of the employers and businesses. Now, businesses are very critical here right now because potentially your buyers and your sellers are business owners. This is very good information for you to understand, to kind of know where they are right now. And in some of these things that you are seeing here right now, you will see that there are a lot of allowances and tax deductibles being given. Now, if you are an agent right now in this business, you should be snapshotting some of these reports and sending page by page that is relevant to your client. If your client is operating a cafe or restaurant, you should have some of this being sent to them to let them know these are opportunities for them in this season right now based on the report. A lot of employers and businesses reliefs are given, right? You can see a lot of financing as well. There are a lot of grants given for digitization. One of the things that this will cause is the implementation of digitization into businesses that will be propelled. Before, people felt that there is a choice, that I don't need to digitize what I'm doing right now. Now they have no choice, right? Everybody is being squeezed to run their business digitally. Whatever business you are in, even the restaurant business, are forced to push themselves to go on delivery and be on a digital platform, right? What was physically based right now is now digitally based and physically enhanced, right? As I said, there are grants. There are also, what do you call that, duties exempted for businesses. I will send this report and make it available in Workplace. I have seen all the reports. I felt that this is one of the most comprehensive and the most simple for us to understand. And there are some commentaries there as well that you want to talk about to your clients. Even for individuals right now, there are a lot of relief given to the individuals. So this is a good touch point to go back to your clients and say, hey, by the way, do you know if you buy a new laptop right now for this year, you get a 2,500 relief. Right? So that's something that you can do. Or if your company gives you a laptop to use this year for a brand new one, you get a $5,000 relief. So these are some of the things that the government is encouraging. So what are they saying is this, that working from home or flexi working hours and working strategies are going to be the new normal, right? Because the incentive drives behavior to behave like this. You will see HOC. I will talk about HOC later, and I will talk about, and you will see that the car industry will be stimulated right now. We just have an announcement of full exemption of sales tax for CKD cars and 50% sales tax rebates for CBU cars, right? So car industry will be moving. By the way, if you know this, your number one allied resources should be car salesmen right now. I repeat, your number one allied resources should be car salesmen right now. If you know any car dealership or any car salespeople, think about having a partnership with them, because their sales gallery is going to be full of people coming in to buy cars. And this was the same thing that happened during the 2018 tax regime change, when we changed from, what do you call that? We changed from GST to SST. And you saw a surge of sales for cars that happened, especially in the luxury car market, because the best savings is in the luxury car. So if I were you right now, if I want to go and get more leads and more referrals, work out a deal with a car sales dealer or car salesperson selling BMWs, Audi, Volvo, Mercedes-Benz, they will have the best leads right now, because people be walking into them and looking at buying a car. So think about how you can collaborate with them as an allied resource, right? These are the government initiatives to kind of help other segments of the market, from the OKU, raising bonds to allow people to participate in this season of growth for the country. Now, let's talk about the business quickly. Number one, these are part of the snippets of the report that I took out. I didn't use the whole report, but this is very important. This is a very important relief for industrial property. Those who are in industrial business right now or industrial property, this is a big win for you, right? What you're seeing is here, there is going to be local and foreign companies investing in selected manufacturing sectors may apply for pioneer sectors or investment tax allowance. Maybe what it means that if you invest in the manufacturing sector from a foreign country, you're coming in to invest your plant or your factories here, and if you are investing between 300 to 500 million between that 3 years period from the approval of investment, you get a 0% tax for a period of 10 years. Or if it's 500 million and more, you get a 15 years 0% tax. So you will see the industrial property being an opportunity right now, because those service provider, smaller service provider who are providing services for the big manufacturing plants, right? Their business will boom. Because why? We are now competing for manufacturers to come into Malaysia. And this is a very good stand. This is a very, very good incentive that will propel growth. Now, there were some rumors, I read a report that there are potentially 13 billion US dollars coming to Malaysia because of this. I'm not sure how accurate is that. But if that happens, you will create jobs, you create opportunities, and industrialization will be booming again, right? So I hope that those who are in industry business right now, this is the absolute most important report that you want to send to your client right now to kind of explain to them what's happening. Okay, let me go through. Income tax for new businesses. If you're running new business, you get a tax rebate. Now, this is important for commercial property or industrial property. If you, or for commercial property, excuse me, there is a deduction of 30% of income tax for that particular individual or company that is renting out properties to tenants. If you are now have clients who have rented property, commercial property from you, this is the time for you to touch base with them and touch base with your landlord to let them know, hey, let's try your best to stay in business, try your best to maintain that tenancy. There is a 30% rebate on income tax. So this is an opportunity for you to help with the renegotiation of rentals in terms of landlord and tenant for commercial properties. So I just wanted to put this here that if you're not aware, this is an absolute opportunity to go and touch base and have conversations with your clients right now. If you are a company running COVID-19, what do you call that? Precautionary spending, like you buy face masks, you buy all these things, they get tax exemption as well for those companies. So what I'm sharing with you here are some of the snippets of things that you could be sharing to your clients to touch base. These are all touch points that you can be using to reach out and have that conversation with your clients. Flexible work arrangement as well. So these are some of the initiatives that the government is doing. If you have that flexible work arrangement, you are able to have some deduction in income tax for your company. Okay, I'm going to quickly go in. Mergers and acquisition, you'll be seeing of mergers of acquisitions of companies coming together, because in this season, you will see some people who needs a bailout from a bigger corporation. You will see that merger happening a lot, and you get a relief of stamp duties on transfer. Okay, you get a relief of stamp duties on transfer of mergers and acquisition. Okay, and of course, commodities, 3 commodities are getting export duties waived for 0%. No export duty for 3 of these key commodities. Now, this report will be available in Workplace, don't worry. Now, most importantly, I want to talk a little bit about RPGT right now. This is the best conversation. Now, in all our virtual training right now, all our virtual training that we have been doing in KW Malaysia, almost 90 of them. My wife is a practicing lawyer. So during the MCO period, she kind of had no clients to talk to, and there is no system for her to do follow-ups and all that. And she's not used to doing that. And one of the things that I taught her is do touches, send out messages, talk to your clients to see how can you serve them. And when this came on Friday, she snapshot the main 3 announcements for properties, the RPGT, HOC, and the loan to value 70%. Now it's available more than 70% for property and above. She actually spoke to 47 clients. She just sent out this kind of what do you call that, report, and out of the 47 messages she sent out, she got 21 response. Out of the 21 response, 5 clients told her she's selling they are selling their property right now. One tell her they are in the process of selling her property. Suddenly, from a lawyer, she got listing. And some of you who have received call from me saying that my wife has this referral for you. There's a link house in Damantun. There is a buyer who's looking to buy something in Sri Pilmo. I send that to Ying. So I send out a lot of referrals. Now what happens is this: the minute if that person buy or sells a property, who will she call? She will call my wife, who's doing the SPA for her. So what I'm saying is this, that all these are opportunities for you to touch base and have conversations with your client. If you're not doing anything, you don't know what to do this. Right now, the RPGT ruling is this, that from disposal made from 1st of June, if your SPA is dated and executed in June 1st, all the way to 31st December 2021, any execution SPA between now and 31st December 2021, for residential property only for Malaysian citizens, you are getting 3 opportunities to have 0 RPGT. The last time this happened, I think was during Abdullah Ahmad Badawi's time, where he was the Prime Minister, where he said this whole thing is abolished. This whole thing is abolished, right? So the abolishment of RPGT was what they said in 2007, and that has spiked up a lot of interest in property purchases. Okay, so this, I think, will be potentially an opportunity for you to have conversations with your clients to look at repricing that property. That strategy to reprice is to look at them and tell them, hey, look, if you sell your property faster right now, potentially you will have opportunity to enjoy this benefit. Some of you may ask me, John, it will take so long. There's probably more than 1.5 years right now for them to decide. But I think if they decide faster right now, before the rest of the world decide, they get to sell faster and they get to sell in the market. Okay. Now, the next one is stamp duty exemption for HOC. Now, for HOC, I thought I want to give an example by asking Jonathan Kuek to share with us how does the HOC work. right? So I want to pass the time right now to John Kuek to share his screen and just have a conversation about how is HOC going to work for us. So John Kuek, take us away.
Hi, John. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Right. Good morning, everyone. People who are watching FB Live and also people who are here. Just a quick introduction. My name is Jonathan Kuek from MC1. I'm currently running a FDRT team. We specialize in project marketing. So I'm kind of familiar with HOC because last year was launched HOC like 1.0. I think we sold about 60 units there. So then reintroduce back the HOC, I think it's fantastic. Now let me share the screen. Let me see. Can everyone see here? I think I can see it, right? So I'm just gonna go on. So just to give you some ideas, what is HOC? Now, basically HOC is to support and help the home buyer to buy a property, and not just the buyers, but also to help the developer to clear off some of the stock and also some of the unit. Now, government know that, you know, in order for you to buy a property, there are a lot of costs that you need to pay, the legal fees, the MOT, the stamp duty, and also the down payment. Now, HOC basically remove all that to make it very easy for the first time home buyer or a home buyer to buy property, pay a very minimum entry price. Now, let me show you the next one. Now, before I go into the new HOC 2020, I just want to show you how was the performance last year. Wait a minute. So if you can see, HOC sold about 23.2 billion worth of houses in 2019. But I want you to read this statement, is that the program has managed to clear 31,415 residential units, surpassing the initial target of 17 billion. Now, what does it mean? So it means that last year when HOC was set up is to clear 17 billion worth of houses. But because of HOC, they overachieved it. They sold about 23.2 billion worth of houses in 2019, right? So now just a quick questions about, see, 31,000 residential houses sold in 2019. Now my question to you, did you manage to sell any HOC property? Now, last year was quite good. I think last year HOC, definitely a lot of project unit being sold out, but did you manage to take this opportunity to sell the property? Now, if you didn't, then do not worry, because the HOC 2020 is coming. Now, further to the government announcement last Friday, so basically it stirred out the whole public interest to really encourage people to buy. Now, the whole public right now, probably they are getting very excited, because currently we are having the lowest interest rate. We don't have to pay the MOT, the RBGT, there is a HOC coming in. Now, I received a few calls from clients that they are ready to buy right now. Now, during MCO that time, we try to do so, it's kind of a bit difficult because the client do not know what is happening for the next few months. But with the announcement that made by our Prime Minister, it was so interesting and stirred up people's interest to find out more, because they know that the price is going to be a little bit cheaper. Now, what's so powerful about HOC that managed to contribute 31,000 units last year? And take a guess how many units going to be transacted in the next 6 months when this is going to be introduced. Now, let me show you some of the ideas about the HOC and how you should educate your client about this. Now, the first thing first is a minimum 10% discount for all prices. Now, not all the project, we have about 120 over project in Klang Valley, but not all the project registered under HOC. Now, in order for you to be a HOC project or product, you need to have a minimum 10% discount for all houses. That's number one. Now, number two, you get about 100% stamp duty exemption for a residential property worth about 300,000 to 2.5 million. And not only that, there's also a free loan agreement stamp duty. So these two save up a lot of costs. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the MOT, because I remember budget 2019, there's some changes about the MOT. Now, how do you calculate MOT and what is MOT? Now, MOT is a memorandum of transfer. So meaning to say, from a master title, the developer will need to convert that title into strata title to you or individual title to you. And when that happens, you will need to pay that MOT. Now, for the first 100,000, you need to pay about 1%. So if your property is about 100,000, you will need to pay about 1,000 ringgit money for the MOT fees. Now, for if 500,000, you need to pay about 9,000. So for the next 400,000, you need to pay about 2%. Then the next 500,000, you need to pay about, let me use this pen. You need to pay about 3%, and anything extra, you need to pay about 4%. So assuming that your property is about 500,000, your MOT is about 9,000. All right. So let me show you the other calculation. So for example, if you buy a house about 500,000, so what are the costs that you need to pay? Now, without HOC, you will have to pay a down payment of 50,000. You will need to pay a stamp duty of 2,250 on the loan. You will need to pay the MOT. Now, follow back the table. The MOT table that I showed earlier is about 9,000. And of course, the monthly installment is about 2,130. Now, for your first month, you will need to pay about 63,000. Now, the question is, how many first-time home buyer or how many youngsters have 63,000 in the bank account? Now, don't talk about 63,000. Maybe 10,000 can be a little bit challenging for them. Now, the best thing about HOC is that they remove 3 clauses. Number one, they remove the down payment about 10,000. It depends how the developer structure the package. And number two, the stamp duty, you do not need to pay because it's exempted. Number three, the MOT also exempted. Now, the monthly installment is not 4.5 anymore. Right now, I see as low as 3.5, as low as about 3.4 also got, I saw that. So your installment is about 1,800. Now, with HOC, you save up 61,250. Now, when the government announced HOC, when this information is on the market, a lot of public know about this information. I think it is very important, we as a real estate negotiator, is to educate client how much money you are going to save, because information without explanation is useless. So that is the reason why we are here, to really educate client what is happening. Now, during this MCO time, my team and myself are actively looking for a great opportunity. What are the best financial platform that they can leverage on for the buyer? Now, we come across, when the government introduced this, I think the transaction is going to happen in the next few months. And not only the HOC, then we come across another one called House Key, which is an easy ownership plan. And it's like a rent to own kind of product. Now, let me tell you what's so good about this plan. Meaning to say, you own the property, you rent the property first, then you buy later. So that is actually quite good. Let me show you 3 big good selling points about this easy ownership plan. Number one is 100% financing, meaning to say no down payment is required. Number two, no payment during construction, because when you buy an under construction property, during that construction period, you need to pay, you need to serve the interest to the bank. And for a 500,000 property, 3 to 4 years construction, you probably need to pay about 40,000 during construction time. And number three is that if you go with easy ownership plan, which is House Key, your repayment is lower by 30%. And that makes it very easy for client to own. Now, so basically, just to recap about this, is 0 down payment. And number two is that 0 payment during construction. Now, this one locked in today's price is very interesting because you own the property first, then you buy later. Now, if you go with House Key today, if let's say developer are selling 500,000 for 3-bedroom today, and you go with House Key, the bank will lock down the price today. And if 5 years later or 3 years later to 5 years later, you decide to convert this House Key into your conventional loan, the bank will sell you the price that you bought today, not the market price in 5 years later. So this one is actually pretty good, that you can lock in the price today, and when you 5 years later, when you buy, you can buy back the whole price. Okay, so it's actually quite flexible for this. Now, the question is, when the government make the announcement, you know that a House Key really make transaction happen, and also HOC also make transaction happen. And the question is, can you see the opportunity today? And the question is, which product got House Key, which product come with HOC as well? Now, I would like to show you one of the project that come with HOC and come with House Key. Now, this product last year registered under HOC, and when I talk to developer, they are going to make this project under HOC as well. right? So let me show you this opportunity and you tell me whether your client will be interested about this. Now we come across this location is actually only 500 meters walk with covered walkway to the MRT and LRT station. And not only that, one station away, you can go to Ikhwan My Town, and the next station, you can go to Tun Razak Exchange, which is a financial hub area. And the next station, which is the third station, you go to Bukit Bintang, which is Pavilion Shopping Mall. Now, under a Redfield platform, we have a lot of projects next to MRT and LRT, but this is the only project that your neighborhood are so commercialized, is a financial hub, and also in the KLCT area. Now, this product we come across is actually below below market property deals. That number one is developed by the first tier developer. Number two is actually in a prime location, and not just prime location, it's about 4.5 km to the KL city center, and it's also walking distance to the MRT and LRT station. Then the next one is that this one is below market value 35% compared to a neighboring project, because neighboring project is selling much more higher, but this one is a bit more affordable. And lastly is next to financial, transforming financial hub. Now we have HOC, we have house key, we have such a wonderful product that all gel together. I think it can make it very, very easy to sell. So where is this project? This project basically called M Vertica at Cheras. Now, so the price is about 540,000 for 3-bedroom or 640,000 for 4-bedroom. Now, during this MCO time, we sold a few units under house key, but when the HOC comes in, I think it make it a lot easy for agent to sell. Now, HOC doesn't just help the buyer. Let me be clear here. It doesn't just help the buyer. It also help the developer to clear some stock. And it doesn't just help both parties, but it also help real estate agent to market this effectively. But most importantly, you need to go out there and talk to your client, and client going to be very, very excited. Now, if you want to find out more about the M Vertica, you can go to YouTube and search the best development in Cheras. I think my team, probably Ashley or Kelvin, will send out the YouTube link and the Zoom chat there. You can click, it's about 1-minute videos that I talk about what's so good about this project in this location. So you can watch that. So if you want to find out more about M Vertica project, we will have a briefing on the 10th of June, which is this Wednesday at 2 p.m. And our target, because of the HOC, because of the house key, and our target to sell this property is to clear 100 units in this area. Because HOC that time can clear a Bangi project in Southview City, about 60 units. I believe during this season of time, with the HOC, with the house key, no RBGT, no MOT, free loan agreement, plus having the lowest interest rate in the history, I think this is the best time to buy, and also this is the best time to sell. And the question is, can you see the opportunity? Now, when you join the group that time, we will have all the materials ready for you to talk to your client, ready for you to understand the product a little bit better. Now, during this project briefing, my objective is only 3 things that I want to make everyone clear. Number one, that I will tell you the top 5 unique selling point for this product. And you will tell your client this top 5 unique selling point and why you should buy this product. And number 2, that I will show you how to do prospecting and marketing for this particular project. That whether you are giving out flyers, whether you're doing cold call, whether you're doing Facebook, or whether you're doing iProperty. Now, for people who are doing in sub-sale right now, I believe you have iProperty account, come and talk to me. I'm going to give you some pictures and give you the pricing. You advertise at iProperty, because Cheras is the #1 search area in iProperty from the research. So if you put up there, people is going to call you. And lastly is to leverage on the FDRT platform. We've done Zoomina, we've done presentation, leverage on this. Now we do Zoomina online virtually, that we get all the clients together online and we talk to them during MCO and CMCO that time. And basically we have done 5 times. Now, if you can read this, we have gathered total 220 participants throughout the 5 Zoomina events, and we have done some sales there, and we generate a potential leads from there. Now, the announcement made last Friday, I think is definitely a good thing for you to touch base with your client, because education is the new lead generation. you need to educate your client. You are not, because if you don't know how to advise, you are nothing but a salesman. So this one is really, really important. So if you are interested to find out more, if you can see this as an opportunity to equip yourself with a house key with HOC and with this product, this is my contact number. Take it down and call me. I will add you in the team, and come and join the project briefing for this. All right. So that's it.
Hey, John, thank you for that quick briefing. Can you leave that screen up there so that people can contact you just in case they can't get you? Yeah. I wanted to just ask one question. In your current journey right now, your current plans to help boost the sales that you are doing right now, you are creating Zoominars or webinars or sessions for customers to come in, and you educate them how they're going to save 60 over 1,000 ringgit right now in buying a property. Is that right?
Correct.
So you're going to find that value proposition based on this current policy right now. What's the value? Now, in order to have an intelligent conversation that is based on data and facts, not based on feeling, based on data and facts, John has done a good job by saying if you buy this project right now, the value of you coming in right now is worth 60,000 to your bank. Does that make sense? So that conversation is what we call an intelligent conversation, because there's data and there's facts. So if you want to learn more, this is John. Go call him, go ask him, see how he can help you all to use your database to help you all make that sale right now due to this HOC promotion. So John, thank you very much, Jonathan.
All right, thank you.
You can stop sharing your screen right now. I want to interview two more person right now in relationship to this situation, so that I think one of the takeaways that I want you all to go back right now is ask yourself this question: what can I do to use whatever that is being announced here to do better in my business? What can I do to use this information and this new policy as a tool to go and get market share, right? So I want to talk to these two persons. Before I'll go ladies first. Yien, you are there? Yien. So Yien has been quite successful. Her team has been quite successful in securing sales. I think in the month of May, her team did 15 sales, probably worth about 21 million right now in terms of the sales volume. So Yien, how are you going to use some of these policies that the government has just announced to support your business? How are you going to use this right now?
Okay, I think the first thing that's what we aware is that because of the HOC, there are many buyers out there, or even like people that has been looking for houses, they'll be aware that there's this incentive. We want to talk to them and have a conversation with them. So a lot by my team that do not overestimate your customers, that they actually know everything. So do not be afraid to actually open up your mouth and share more. Talk to them and ask them. Sometimes, seriously, even people, we experience buyers that are able to buy 1 million or 1.5 million house, right? They are not familiar with the property market. So we need to come up and as advisors to talk, hey, do you know there's this HOC program that is going to, our project is actually giving this promotion, also leveraging on this incentive from the government, and how much would be the saving, additional 10%, and the loan agreement stamp duty, as well as the MOT. Yeah, so we will use this to talk to them, and they will ask us more questions, then we'll invite them to the sales gallery.
Awesome. So basically you are going there as an opportunity to educate them first.
Yeah, correct.
You're going to call them and say, hey guys, by the way, are you aware of these new things that's happening right now? Are you aware that this is going on? And you probably do you have a Zoom conversation with them?
For our projects, most of the time we will try to invite them to the sales gallery now, because now it's already CMCO and we can attend the sales gallery. So, but only certain buyers that we manage to close during Zoom is because they are actually in outstation or in overseas. So if there's a choice, we always we will meet at the sales gallery. It's easier to do the closing on the spot. Yeah, but actually, probably we'll give a call to those that we have actually touched base or proposed the project before. But for new one, we can actually start creating a series of EDMs relating to the house ownership campaign and send it to them. So they see it 1 time, 2 times, they'll be curious, then we call them and talk to them. Oh, have you received this by the way, yeah, are you aware that we are having this program, HOC program, that help you to own a house easily? So they will ask, then we have conversation with them and actually use this opportunity to tell them that, by the way, this is not all projects actually has this HOC. Then we will use this to say, oh, our project actually has this HOC. Why don't you kind of have a look? And not sub-sales doesn't have this, but project has this, and why you want to buy a property from project. Then we'll continue with this kind of conversation. From there, they will use it.
Yeah. So you are also changing the messaging right now, right? You are changing the message that you send out to your clients with this new season or this new policy that's being implemented. What are some of the potential messaging that you are using to talk to your clients right now?
Potential messages. Definitely, we will change our EDM, because usually previously our EDM we don't put the HOC. So because everyone is like they want to know what is HOC now. It's a hot topic now. So we must leverage on this hot topic and make sure that we send out our messages, there is something to do. We want to let them know that our project has HOC and you should come and have a look. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing, Yien. I hope that this season you will going to double up the sales that you did. Definitely, this has helped you for your May bookings, because your May bookings are going to benefit from signing SPA in June right now.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing that, Yien. Thank you. I have an Abang Ikhwan on the call right now. Abang Ikhwan, are you there? Abang Ikhwan, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm here.
Mutual support, please spotlight Abang Ikhwan, please. Thank you. So Abang, share with us right now, in your current team Legasi, your current platform Legasi, and you guys are driving a lot of sales, especially focusing on the Bumiputra market. Am I right? And I was told that you had about 20 sales in 1 week.
Up to today is 28 in 1 week.
28 sales in 1 week.
Yeah, I haven't slept properly for several days because the booking was coming in at 2 a.m.
Wow.
So
20 guys, hear this, guys. 28 sales in 1 week, and you didn't have Raya.
We are, yeah.
Okay.
People are buying during Raya.
People are buying during Raya. Tell us what's happening with the Bumiputra market right now. Tell us that right now.
In the Bumiputra market now, I think it's quite similar also to other markets, where I think after people can go out after PKP, MCO, suddenly they feel that they want to buy a new house. So there is a very high demand of people buying new houses or looking for a new place to stay. So even before the PM announcement on Friday, the demand has been quite hot since I think past 2 weeks, I think. So we only managed to grab the market for this past 1 week, and we got 28 sales this week, only for Habitus.
Yes,
so including other projects, Legasi in Kampung Baru, we also got another 5 closings there. So all in all, around 30 plus
in 1 week. So 30 over sales in 1 week. Oh, that's a great Raya for you and your team.
Yes.
Yeah. So how are you changing your conversation with your buyers right now? Because the Bumiputra market is a huge market right now. I believe the opportunity is there. Everybody there wants to own a home or potentially own an investment home.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, that's the current market. Either I want to own my home or I want to own an investment home right now. So there's the first home buyers and there's the investor market in the Bumi market right now, right? So what are you changing your mode of conversations and your messaging to them right now?
To be honest, in terms of how we communicate with our clients, the demand has come naturally, meaning that most of them come to us to buy. So there's no need for us to go to them and do prospecting and everything. It's just that we need to be able to advertise ourselves as selling those property, and people will be calling. So for example, before this this same project, this 28 units that we sold this week, this same project, previously we were doing cold calling, and we only closed about 14 for the past 2-3 months, right?
Yep.
So this past week, people was calling us.
Yep.
People were calling us to book, even during the late nights. So
Yep.
I think this also included because some developers are using this opportunity to really sell off their property and give better packages. And for my project, I think the booking is only RM1. And I saw some other projects. I think Zeta have another project with the booking of RM1 also. That helps the buyers and creates excitement in the market.
Yep.
And people are buying a lot lah. Yeah.
So basically, if you guys are doubling down on prospecting right now, you probably get more sales right now. You send out the right message to the clients right now, you'll probably get more sales. Now, guys, on this call right now, if you are looking for a good message to send out to your clients, this is the message. Tell them this: for RM1, you get to own a property. Call me right now.
Yeah.
That's simple. For one, just touch base with all your clients right now. Send them a message. For RM1, you're gonna get a property right now. Yeah, come on right now. You can own a property. So give them this message. It is prospecting is the same thing, but the messaging is critical. So take advantage of the messaging that is available for you. HOC is one messaging. RM1 is one messaging. This is where I think we need to be a bit more proactive. Now you're hearing from them who is getting a lot of calls coming in wanting to buy because they are actively advertising and marketing. But if they put in more effort to double down on calling those previous leads that they get and ask for referrals, I'm sure with this current HOC, you save more money, right? This current HOC, you're saving more money, right? So thank you for sharing that, Abang Ikhwan. Abang, if you don't mind sharing your phone number on the chat box, and then even on Facebook, someone could help share Abang Ikhwan's phone number on Facebook as well, and Yien on Facebook as well. Please get them to put so that they all know how to contact both of them during this season, to have conversations with them to add value so that they all can collaborate. Thank you very much, Abang. Thank you very much. Okay, before I close the door, close this call, I leave another 2 or 3 minutes. Is there any questions? I saw there's a question earlier in Facebook that's talking about car salesmen. In terms of, let me just go back to that question. I can't find that question, but there was a car salesman question earlier just now saying that is there a PDPA Act violation? And now I'm not asking you to violate any laws. I'm asking you to collaborate with a car dealership or a car salesperson who is especially in the higher range cars, selling higher range cars. Ask them, is there a way to collaborate? Can we switch leads? I have leads here, you have leads here, can we exchange? And ask permission from your clients to do that. Ask them to ask permission to their clients to do that, right? So these are some of the things that you want to collaborate. Or maybe if you're doing a project, potentially you can do a drive, what do you call that? Propose to your developers. Go do a test drive event right now in your sales gallery. There you go. That's a good collaboration. I just give you a simple collaboration test drive. Or when you're doing an open house, if it's a big bungalow or a nice house, talk to a dealer, say, can I park your car in front of my house right now? I have done that before. Bring in leads. So you got to be very creative and aggressive in this season, right? In this season, you got to be very creative and very aggressive. Okay, is there any other questions right now? Is there any questions? Any other questions I can answer right now? Both on Facebook and on our chat box here in Zoom. Anyone? Is HOC or EOP only applicable to developer units? Can it apply to subsale? Okay, HOC is 100% only for subsale. Or for project. I'm sorry, project. HOC is only for project. EOP or house key is for both subsale and project. Now, the third thing I forgot to cover, I'm going to cover right now, is the loan to value ratio of 70%, where now the government has said that the banks are relaxed and they may offer more than 70%. Now, this is a policy or direction given to the local banks. The local banks still have the right and prerogative to decide how they want to implement this. Now, I have been in touch with head of banks two head of banks, major banks, local banks in Malaysia. They have yet to be able to give me a comment or to give me a guideline on what would that look like. So stay tuned for that. If I can, I will invite the head of those two banks to come in and do a call with us to kind of explain to us what's going on in terms of the LTV 70%. Because 70% loan to value and potentially your third property, you can get up to more than 70%. Now, how much more, they didn't specify. There was no policy saying that, oh, you will get 90%. It was not like that. It was saying that the banks are relaxed right now. They have their rights to offer more margin of financing to buyers who are buying the third residential homes. However, how much more margin, we do not know. So this requires some guidelines and some policy from the local banks themselves to decide how they want to take advantage of this situation. So with that, watch that space. I'm waiting for some calls with the main leadership of banks in Malaysia to bring you the best news. So once I get that, I will actually potentially host another call where I'll get those banks to kind of explain to you that policy for you guys. Okay? Any other questions? RPGT to December, can residential property? No. This particular policy right now, it's not for company or body corporate. It is strictly for individual citizens of Malaysia. In the statement by the Prime Minister, it was for Malaysian citizens. But I'm not sure whether permanent residents get the same treatment as well. So we are waiting for the government sectors to open up on Tuesday to clarify with them as well. But very clear that it is for the, what do you call that, Malaysian citizens. It is for individuals, and you have 3 residential properties to dispose of. LTV 70%. That is something that we are waiting for confirmation from the banks. It was unclear, but the government has told the banks, based on this policy, you are now relaxed. Previously, the loan to value ratio 70% for the third property onwards was a policy by Bank Negara to all banks that you cannot give loans more than 70%. But right now, they say you can. So based on how they can, it's up to the banks to kind of dictate based on their risk assessment, right? No, it's not true. You can actually focus on a sub-sale. This is the best time to look at sub-sale as well. Why? Because stamp duty, RBGT is a major expense for owners. It's a major expense for owners. Most owners are not so willing to sell at a certain period of time because of RBGT. Now that RBGT is waived, I can take a lesser cut. I can reduce my price. I can adjust my price in order for me to sell right now, and I don't get taxed. So there is a win-win right now for sub-sale. It's not about project. I think project has this HOC benefit. I think the sub-sale has an RBGT benefit. And let me say this, I think we are going to potentially have more policies in the market to stir up the economy. How EOP helps sub-sales. If you go to house key, speak to Singfei. Singfei, if you're on the call, please type your phone number, or someone can type Singfei's phone number. You can talk to Singfei, who is working with Maybank directly for sub-sale house key. Basically, a house key is a rent-to-own program that potentially gives you a 100% loan from Maybank. Right? There are certain policies, I think it must be 500,000 and above, only in KL, Klang Valley properties, and has to be 500 square feet and above as well, I think. So yeah, call Singfei. Sunny, if you need to understand how house key works, he will explain to you right now. Okay, with that, I want to respect everyone's time. So thank you very much for coming on this call. And for the rest of those who I review, my apologies that we had some technical difficulty in Zoom, whereby you will miss part of this recording. But don't worry, the recording will be on Workplace. Please go to Workplace. I will make sure that all MCA, MCS will be sending out the links of this recording to all agents, so they have opportunity to go through and watch this video. Okay, with that, thank you very much. I hope today you will be closing more deals due to the public holiday and an opportunity for more appointments. Okay, so thank you very much. I will see you at the next meeting. Thank you guys. You all have a good one.